Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Jiggy John Show, and this is the new season, by the way, and I'm now in the heart of KL, about to pick on my new guest for the brand new season. And here we are in the heart of KL, and we have a very interesting gentleman, very colorful at that. Oh, I need to open the door. And it is my man AV, who is dressed to the nines in black. What's up, brother?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
You're live on Candid Camera.
Oh, hello.
Strap in.
If I manage.
Yes, sir. Now, this is the hardest man to get a hold of, ladies and gentlemen. I've been trying.
He's lying.
This is the fourth time, I think. And finally, because I think I had a date with the Prime Minister and that was easier. What's up, man?
Very good, all good.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Good. Thanks for picking me up.
No worries, man.
Nice car.
The least I could do is shuffle you around town while yakking away.
Hey, you know, some people have all the luck like me to be shuffled around by you.
Well, that's one way of putting it. But let's just make sure the angles are working out. Yep, there we go. We can see your shiny ball patch.
Awesome.
All right. So I know we don't have a lot of time. So the whole reason of me doing this, and you're the first guest in the new season, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Season 2.
Power.
That's right.
Jiggy power.
Well, yes, AV power. So AV, the whole idea, and I don't know if you remember much of what I told you why I'm doing this, is I'm basically telling a story with people and their lives, and I think you've got a pretty colorful journey so far.
Well, blessed, but everybody does.
Well, but that's the thing, you know. So a lot of people look at it that way. People don't approach life with that angle of we're blessed. Everybody is always looking at what they don't have. They forget to take stock of what they do have.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
That is very true.
And so you know you've had a very colorful life. So let's summarize it as quickly as we can before I drop you off at your new headquarters. And tell us right now your current role before we backtrack as far back as we can.
Well, my current role, I'm overseeing the operations of the Star Media Group. I started that journey last August as the group CEO of Star Media.
There we go.
Which is an exciting, amazing, powerful journey vis-a-vis a challenging industry, a challenging economy, a challenging market. Vis-a-vis and juxtapose that to all the people who are the naysayers and they want to look at the negative angle of things. Sometimes I opt and choose to look at the positive. A very powerful group.
Correct. With
platforms ranging from print to OTT to digital to radio to recipes, you name it.
Of course.
Content, entertainment, news, still the undisputed, trusted news source in Malaysia, and much more. So it's quite an amazing journey, and sometimes I pinch myself because I still can't believe that I have that privilege to be part of that family, a very powerful one that has shaped Malaysia for almost 50 years.
So there you go, you know. So that brings me back to my favorite saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But the best part is you're just getting started.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
But let's take it back. So you're Greek
by birth.
And how long were you in Greece before you flew the coop?
That's right. Actually, I first left when I was 21.
Okay.
So I left for the States to study advertising. And I'll backtrack in a bit because the story is a bit different. I was in love with math, believe it or not. And then I fell in love with advertising, which pretty much I'm doing ever since.
Right.
So finished University of Florida.
Okay.
Studying advertising and marketing. Then I started working in New York, the Big Apple, and that was back in the 1991.
Okay.
Which was the Madison Avenue days. Yes, the Mad Men did exist. Yes, the 3 martini lunches did exist, and it was a very different world back then.
Wow.
Pretty much nothing to do with today. Internet didn't exist.
Of course.
Mobile phones didn't exist. We used to make our media plans on charts that would be put then on a typewriter and faxed to the client. And you had to be really good to the secretary. We had a floor secretary.
Oh my gosh.
Our favorite Flo. And
Wow.
if you were not good to her, she would just delay your fax. And that would be lethal, man. It's almost like Google gone wrong. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it was different back then, but very exciting.
Yeah.
That's how the career started. Then I had to go back to Greece to fulfill the army requirement, the mandatory service.
Oh wow, like Singapore.
Yes. So I, for a year, I was carrying guns around in the snow, shooting them and throwing grenades. For whatever reason, beats me to today. I don't know. But I made a few good friends there, and then I didn't go back. I stayed in Greece, and I was working still in marketing and advertising.
Okay.
Was at that time at J. Walter Thompson.
Oh wow.
And that was the year about around 1996, 97 that all the media agencies would break away from the creative agencies and they would make it on their own.
Okay, okay.
And so the real time I left for Greece for the second time was in 97 in September.
Okay.
To go to Tokyo
Okay.
and launch Media Vest. At
Oh,
that time,
wow.
which was the media agency of the agency that doesn't exist today, Darcy, Macy's, Ben & Bolts.
Ooh.
And that's how the journey started in Asia. It was serendipity, I think, and the stars aligned that way that it just had to happen.
So after Tokyo,
So-
then what happened?
After Tokyo, well, Tokyo was, I stayed there for 5 years.
Okay.
Supposedly I went for 2. But everything happened in Tokyo, and I love Japan and I love Tokyo. That's an amazing place.
Okay.
In fact, New York and Tokyo are two of my favorite cities, but of course nothing tops KL.
I like how he threw that
Yeah,
in there.
that's
If
right.
you guys took notice,
Yes.
the man is very, very on the ball.
So Tokyo, I've seen it all. We
Yep.
had mergers and acquisitions. DMB&B became Darcy, then Leo Burnett bought Darcy, then Dentsu bought some of it, and it became Bicom 3 when Publishers bought it. And it was just an incredible array of events for 5 years.
Sure.
And then we merged MediaVest with Starcom. We made it was the biggest, strongest foreign independent media agency in Japan. Imagine that. And that we're talking about a market that is dominated by the local agencies like Dentsu and Asatsu and Hakuhodo.
Right.
And it was an unbelievable journey. And after that, life brought me to Taiwan
Oh, okay.
to head Mindshare and establish the Group M in Taiwan.
Okay.
So stayed there for another 5 years. Needless to say that I went to Japan single, left Japan married. I went to Taiwan married with no kids, left Taiwan after 5 years with a child.
Oh, wow.
And the household container was just increasing from 40 feet to 60 feet back to the rim.
Okay.
So in 2006 we came to Malaysia.
Okay.
For me, the job brought me here basically
Okay.
to head up OMD and establish the Omnicom Media Group.
Yep.
And so little I knew at that time that I'd come to Malaysia, I would madly fall in love with it, and I would choose to make it home. So within the first few months, it was very apparent that this is it, this is home.
Yep.
And after 13 years, I say the same thing with the same love and passion as I did in the first months that I came here in 2006.
Yep.
Sold what I had in Greece. I just kept a small apartment there and brought it all here, bought a house, bought a second one, and that's it. Life is good,
Wow.
exciting, and absolutely loving Malaysia Bole. I'm Malaysian by choice in
True.
that sense.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I've heard of you, but we only met maybe 7, 8 months ago
Yeah,
for the first time.
Just about.
And
That's
very
right.
quickly it was when you were moving on to this new role, and ever since then it's been an absolute whirlwind.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you
That's
were
right.
busy before, but now busy takes on a new meaning.
On a new meaning.
Do you know what I mean?
Level, yes.
But the thing is, I've been watching you, and you're still full of that zest for life, and I'm like, I thought I had a zest for life, but this guy takes it to another level. So,
Wow.
what keeps you going, Evie?
For me, it's the purpose, right? And
Okay.
it always has been the purpose. And sometimes that is not very clear in front of you, but it lies somewhere in your heart and in your mind. And when you're driven to accomplish something and driven by any purpose, then nothing stops you, nothing makes you tired, and you just keep at it. Of course, sometimes in our lives that can change, right? So what's your purpose when you are a 20-year-old
Yep.
versus when you're 40 or 50 or 60 might be a bit different.
Of course.
And I guess that's why also we see a lot of people as they mature,
Yep.
because I think getting older is up in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your purpose changes, and as you accomplish things in life, then it becomes a little bit different. So always for me, I think looking back to connect the dots, because that's the only way to do it, is about purpose and what really adds meaning to your life. Lately, I've never been busier. I've never slept less in my life. And mind you, sometimes I'm a procrastinator and I'm not a morning person, okay?
Okay.
But there is no other way. So if there's no other way, that's the only way to do it. Then you get your sorry ass from bed and you just need to do, and you do what you need to do, and you do it well. Star Media Group has an amazing future, and for me, it gives me so much purpose, and that's what really drives me, because all I want to see is this group that has so many amazing elements and diamonds in it. Some of it have been not up in the surface yet.
Right.
To drive it and to see these diamonds really shine, these stars I should say, really shine, and see the day and get the place that they deserve. One day at a time, one brand at a time, one person at a time, but
Yep.
So far so good, and that's what really keeps me going.
And that's the funny thing is, because when you first mentioned it to me, and before it was official that you took on this role, I grew up obviously surrounded by reading the Star, reading the New Straits Times and all of that, because I came of age in the time and age when it was still full blown newspaper, right?
That's
Broadsheets and all that.
That's right.
And to watch that journey and to suddenly realize how in the world did an expat who obviously is very Malaysian now, but I never saw that happening, because
Right.
a bit of the history of the Star, which you know all about, and I don't need to get into,
Right.
is the ties that it had, or the way the average Malaysian looked at newspapers the way they were, or the media the way they were, and to watch that, or to watch it take on a new life in the form of bringing you on board.
Right.
That's the part that I can't wrap my. I'm like, I can't believe that they did it.
Well, they did, and I have to say a couple of things on that. First of all, it's a great honor. I'm humbled.
Of course.
Because in the beginning, I myself was pinching my hand, and I'm like, is this happening?
Right.
This cannot be happening. I think they have me there to fill in some quota or something. But it was real, and I think that it exemplifies the determination of the board to do things different.
Yep.
We are at a juncture that marketing needs to kick in,
Yep.
changes need to take place,
Yep.
and the board is committed. And so for me, it was, apart from being a great honor and the ultimate that I could offer
Yep.
back to this place that I love so much, is the determination that we can do things differently. And so we live at the crossroads right now. Everybody says print is dead, and I don't believe so, not because of my current role, but if you see any of my interviews, any of my comments in the past, I always used to say the same thing.
Yep.
Print is far from dead, but print needs to be repositioned.
Of course.
The Star newspaper, that is, has shaped Malaysian society and the country in so many different ways than one. And it cannot, and it will not lose its relevance. It
Yep.
will continue doing so. But of course, we're dealing with a younger generation that is triggered by different things, wants different things. They don't behave the same way the older generation did. And so we need to adjust. We need to find and reap a new purpose, for example, for print, and what role does it play vis-a-vis digital. And that's the biggest journey that we have undertaken.
Right.
And that's, you're going to see some results in early next year on how we make print more relevant, how we make it a little bit more desirable.
Yep.
Of course, it will never be as it used to be before, but that's not the point. The point is to really coexist synergistically and complement online, and vice versa.
Sure.
If you really think about it, the way we consume news and media online is not the same way with print. Books, for for example, are coming back.
Yep.
Amazon is building physical bookstores.
Yep.
And that's because the way we consume digital versus the tactile experience of holding something in your hand, smelling it, flipping the pages is very different. Now,
Of course.
with news, tell me when was the last time that you have read a long report, in-depth analysis in your mobile for more than 15 minutes?
That is true.
Probably never. So the way you get your news on your mobile is very different. It's fast, it's headlines, it's more articles, it's small videos.
Correct.
While print offers you a very different angle, more in-depth analysis. And funny enough, every single partner, client that I see, they don't mind so much if the article will not appear online,
Okay.
but they give a lot of emphasis in making sure that it will appear on print,
Right.
because print provides that weight and that authority when it comes to news reporting.
Understand.
So that's that for the news. So you're going to see a lot of different things next year.
Okay.
A lot of innovation.
Yep.
A lot of new products.
Yep.
For example, you're going to see a lot from M-Star, which is our Malay entertainment portal. You're going
Okay.
to see a lot from Kuali, which is our food app and portal.
Okay.
In fact, Kuali is the only one that has an AI that recognizes ingredients, so have tons of ingredients. So if you place your camera, download your Kuali app and place your camera over some food ingredient, like
Right.
a basil leaf,
Okay.
not only will recognize what it is, but it will suggest a few recipes for you to cook.
Oh, wow.
So you're going to see a whole lot more of that stuff from different products. The radio stations are doing great.
Right.
A lot of innovation on print.
Yep.
A brand new Star Online.
Oh, wow.
So we're busy.
I can tell.
Yeah,
So
man.
this brings me to my next question. Like, what do you have to tell people on just what keeps you going, or how do you stay inspired? Where do you draw your source of inspiration from? Where do you get all this boundless energy from? How do you do it?
Right. Well, it has to come from within, and it has to come from purpose, and I fundamentally believe that. I hear a lot of complaint about all sorts of things, different things. You know, this doesn't work. My supervisor is this. My company doesn't allow me to do that. The thing is this: in life, in any situation, we have three choices and only three. Either we love it, or if we don't love it, we can try to change it.
Yep.
If we cannot change it and we don't love it, then we leave it.
Correct.
So either you love it and you're inspired by it and you are driven and you're happy doing what you're doing, or you have to find something that you are happy with. And find that balance and that purpose in what you do. And I'm talking about job-wise. Your personal life, I'll leave it as such, it's a different matter.
Of course.
But it is about finding that area where you're happy, where you can wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to go and do something different today and add value to someone.
Right.
So to me, it's all about purpose, really. What's your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? If we cannot answer that question, then we will struggle, I believe.
Okay. So, what else would you put out there? Just as a point of view, where you've been working now, maybe 25 years, 30 years? No.
Yeah, just about.
Just about. So
I'm 53. What am I? 1966. What's that? 53,
Oh,
right?
wow. So you've been working for just about 3 decades?
About 3 decades. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the fact that you even mentioned the whole Mad Men thing. That really, I'm like, holy moly! You actually have enjoyed watching old school at work, and now you're in the middle of all things cutting edge and new school. Which says a lot, because you've gone from that spectrum all the way to
this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and you've just embraced it effortlessly, right? Which is interesting, and I think that applies to
no other choice.
And I came of age as well when internet first came online. I was in my freshman year, and that was when internet came to Malaysia for the first time, 97. So
that's right.
You know what I mean? So, but long story short, how are you staying relevant though? Like, how do you keep yourself on your toes and just constantly abreast with all things that are happening?
Well, the truth of the matter is that if anybody tells you they know everything, they're full of it. So I don't know a whole lot of things, but I try to read. I try to be surrounded by people who know better than me and who know more than me, and so learn from them. Open your mind. Listen to them. Listen to what's happening and watch what's happening around you. And in this day and age where technology has liberated and connected everything, then you have to be really a hermit in order not to be in touch with what's happening in the world.
That is true.
And so if everything that is happening around you doesn't inspire you one bit to really do something different, then come to me and I'll become your personal coach now, to see how we can find inspiration. But I think we need to let our spirit free, open our mind, open our heart, and let me go back and open our heart and just let the world come in and see what inspires us, whatever that might be, and give back. And I think once we do that, then we start understanding our purpose. And the moment we realize, why are we here? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? Then things start happening. Let me juxtapose this and let me go back a little bit in history, and we can do one more circle if you want. We are doing very good on time.
Awesome. I wasn't sure because I promised you 30 minutes. So
we are very good on time.
Awesome. This man's paying attention, huh? He's not just willy-nilly yakking away. He's keeping track of the roads. The man's got it.
Of course. Motorbike to the right. Oops. I was born in a small village in the island of Crete, in Greece in 1966. Electricity came to the village the year before I was born, or just about. And it was a farming life, and it wasn't as idyllic as it looks in the blue and white pictures of the islands in the Aegean Sea. It was not as idyllic as you can see in the vineyards and olive groves. Gathering olives in the winter time is crap, man. It's messy, it's muddy, it's cold, it's not that nice. And it's not the easiest job to really get the grapes done and make raisins and all of that. So that was life back then. And we didn't have much. We had radio. I watched TV only when I was 9. Before that, it didn't exist.
Oh, wow.
And life was a bit different. In terms of values, a lot of these things, though, haven't changed, because it was about supporting each other and about making ends meet, really. And so from that, getting to a world that is exploded in terms of technology, fully connected. Back then, I remember, of course, we didn't have any other means. We had one phone in the entire village. It was only years later that houses were connected. We didn't have internet. We didn't have any other means of communication except writing letters to each other and wait until it arrives, you reply. All of that, including businesses. I remember my sister was doing teletext.
Oh my God.
If you remember what that is.
I've heard about it. Never experienced it.
And fax came and liberated, the industry. Liberated, my goodness. So when I'm very, very lucky to see how humanity operates from having so little to today having just about everything. And yet at the same time, the real values for humanity haven't changed. Passion, determination, integrity, respect, valuing the things that matter, and so on and so forth. And of course, again, purpose.
Of course.
So through all that journey, that taught me a lot of things. And again, back then, in every step of my journey, I was not looking at all this consciously. They were just happening. And only now, when I look back and when you ask me questions like that, is when I put it all together. I've been very blessed to see how it has progressed, what all that change has done, and what really is most relevant. And it comes down back to the principles and the values, right? Because technology will only make things more complicated and more liberated. So what do we do all that stuff?
Right.
The moment you try to catch up with something, that's the moment that you lose, because something new will come about the next month.
Correct.
So how do you keep up with all these changes? Back to your original question,
Of
to close
course.
the loop. I think you need to stay true to your values.
Yep.
Stay true to your principles. Open your mind and your heart and observe, learn, and never quit that journey. It is about staying humble and about advancing your intellect, basically.
And how do you stay balanced, calm? How do you find Zen? I mean, I know one way because I think we have that in common, which is the way we met as well. But no, how do you balance it out?
Whiskey and cigars.
Oh, he put it out there. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It is a tough question because there are so many times in the day that I just lose it, and things are not happening, or they're not happening fast enough, or people don't cooperate, or get cheeky, you name it, or your plan doesn't really go as planned, and all these things. And frankly, sometimes I just breathe and I try to keep calm, and I say to myself, okay, you cannot control things that are happening, but you can control your reaction to them. Sometimes I lose it, and the times I lose it and either I react or I write or I say something wrong, I regret it. 99.9% I regret it. But I live with it, and I try to do it better next time. You know, you have an argument, you have a disagreement, and then you cannot hold your temper, or you cannot hold your cool. You say the wrong thing, things don't go right. Somebody says something to you that is not fair. How do you deal with all these things? I guess I keep on trying. I screw it up a million times a day, but I just keep on trying, to be honest. And Zen, man, I think I find it in my me time. I love being alone, actually. Even though and by that I mean me time, where you don't have to talk, you don't have to entertain, you don't have to do anything. I can just goof off with a glass of wine and my cigar in the balcony and just spend an hour just doing nothing, or like doing silly things like looking at funny stuff on Facebook, you know. And I think you need that downtime, because I believe your mind works in such a mysterious way that it needs that time to process and distill and stay a little calm. The other thing that I do, I turn my phone off when I go to bed. I mean, I don't turn it off, but I turn it to silent. And so I'm thinking, okay, if I need to get 5 hours of sleep, what can happen except the building falling down on me that will really can't wait until I wake up. So that is, for me, sacred. I do that. I put my earplugs on and I delve into dreaming and into a different world. So it's part of that.
Very cool.
To recharge.
So are you an iPhone or Android user?
Android, man.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I cannot believe that.
Yes.
Wow. I'm surprised.
For different reasons, and I think it might be prudent not to get to them.
Sure.
But
and you
no,
only use one device?
I have been an Android user all the time. Yes, one device, and of course laptop and all that. So I do actually most of my work here, by far, from emails to WhatsApp and all that. So it's quite useful.
Interesting. Interesting.
Even though I'm dreaming of that time that I will go for a month at a cave with no phones, just a bottle of wine and some.
When was the last you did that, though? When is the last you've detoxed digitally?
I honestly don't remember. I haven't detoxed digitally for the longest time. I don't remember, to be honest.
I only had it once, and
Yeah.
I swear I needed it again 3 years ago when I was in
Really?
Cuba for 12 days.
Really?
Cuba didn't have internet.
Oh, that's true. Well, like when I was there last February, they had these cards, so I was detoxing through the day, but I would do an hour in the morning and at night.
So I think I know what you're talking about. So with that card, you had to go stand in the public parks where the Wi-Fi.
Or in the hotels, yeah.
Oh, okay, not in the hotels. Well, I was
Yeah,
more like
hotels.
in.
So,
Okay.
but through the day, yeah, you're right. I detoxed at that.
Yeah, because like in the park, at the sides, and like
Right.
you see these Wi-Fi corners. But I tell you, that was so therapeutic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not being able to have
Yeah.
anyone bug you. Like
Yeah.
you have your phone, but it's not online.
Yeah,
so like,
it's just a
yay.
camera.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
I
right.
tell you, that's the most powerful thing, because I realize we both live similar lives in regards to being around people, entertaining people, constantly wired, making decisions on the fly. And
Right.
that me time is super important. I'm
Super
exactly like you.
That's right.
I tell you, I mean, me time alone.
That's right.
Like
And
I don't want to
we
be
need- we
around
need that.
anyone.
We
Yeah.
need that. We really need that. I mean, the day is crazy. Back-to-back meetings,
Yeah.
decisions every single second.
Correct.
It's just mad.
Correct.
And if you don't have that me time, I think your brain needs a little bit of time to recalibrate. You know?
That is true.
So
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to? Like what's next? I mean, whether it's personal or professionally, or I mean, I know you've got. I don't even know how you find time with the cigar club. I mean,
well, it doesn't. We just do a couple of gatherings a year, like.
yeah, that's true.
So
it's
not
not
really taxing.
Yeah, it's not. It's
No, it's
super
not
social,
taxing.
anyways, right?
Yeah, and it's always good fun. Always good to meet friends.
Yep.
It's a great excuse, and it's always amazing magic.
Yep.
Micis memorabile victorias, as we say. So next thing for me is
Any goals per se?
My absolute focus for the time being,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure for the full next year, is Star Media Group.
Okay.
With much love and passion. There is a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
There are many challenges.
Yep.
Some internal, some external in the market. But we are absolutely determined and focused to do the right thing and do that thing right. New products to, not new products, but existing products to relaunch and fine tune.
Yep.
Lots to give back to our readers and our followers.
Yep.
So that will be by far my main focus for 2020. To make sure that we do it right. Personally, I believe that will occupy most of my time, and I will just try to squeeze more personal me time here and there.
Yep.
I think my vacations are going to end up being a little bit limited, but that's okay, no problem.
Chuti Malaysia, it's gonna be.
That's right. And we are blessed with many tons of places to go that
That
are
is
not
true.
that far away. So
Yeah, exactly.
we'll have, my aim is to do small little escapes
There you go.
on weekends throughout the year.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
first things first.
Awesome. So we're doing very well. We're just winding things up now. What would you want to just put out there to, the greater populace, Malaysia as a whole, or just people in the industry, or even people who might be in the media industry or advertising background? And look at you, like from advertising per se, and this whole journey. What a journey,
It has been, and it's blessed. And like we said in the very beginning,
Yep.
frankly, I don't think it's so special. I believe every journey of every person is incredible, and I'm pretty sure that if you sit down with any individual to really dig and understand what they've been through, you will find amazing stories.
Yep.
And when I see people who have no legs, no limbs, no arms, and yet they climb mountains, when I see people who can't see and play football, people with one leg who play football,
Yep.
and they don't complain and
Yep.
they embrace life
Yep.
in the most positive manner, then my God, my life has been easy.
Well, then you're
And-
blessed,
and
You're genuinely
Exactly,
blessed,
Genuinely blessed. So, to everybody, I would like to say, stop complaining.
Yeah.
Stop complaining and be positive. the world is a beautiful place. It is a matter of what we choose to see. Yes, there is strife. Yes, there are challenges. We're not in a la land that is all beautiful and we hold hands and sing kumbaya. It's tough, but it's our choice on what we want to see and how to approach it. If we control the way we react to things, then try to become better every day. Don't complain. If you complain, find a solution to the problem and suggest that. And be positive. Take care of the world. I believe that's a very, very important message. And take care of our society and our community and how we really behave. Things are not easy, and I see it in the economy. I see it in politics. It's easy to complain and not be constructive. To the industry, my goodness, I have a lot to say, but I will say just a few. The industry, the media industry along the way, and I've been in it for 13 years, has been basically making the situation more challenging. And I think I would really urge all the players to really unite, to really look into how in solidarity can tackle issues. The enemy is not here. It's always outside. And as they say, what sinks the ship is the water inside, not outside. Okay?
Understand.
And so the players need to unite, to find common grounds, to give and take, and not compete so dreadfully against each other. Unfortunately, the market has been commoditized a lot, and it's all about the price. And when it gets commoditized and it's all about the price, everybody loses. Absolutely everybody loses. And so then more and more everybody is trying to find different ways to make money. So to the industry, please unite. Please look at the issues for what they are as a whole, as one industry. I know that is almost impossible to accomplish, but nothing is impossible, right? And that's it. Just be positive. Just choose to have that right attitude.
That is correct.
Change the world. One person, one interview, one day at a time. Like you, my friend.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. To all my viewers, this is AV. Although I'll let him pronounce his full name so that we don't butcher it, because if I were to try, we might not be having a second conversation. Tell us in true Greek fashion.
Andreas Vogiatzakis.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm just going to stick to AV. And ladies and gentlemen, so it was an absolute pleasure yakking with you, AV.
My pleasure.
We did very well. We're back at your office.
Amazing.
Believe it or not, you got to go to work, and I get to go to work as well. So is it this one or the next one?
This one.
Ah, very good.
That one, the first. Not the steam.
Yes. Up to the left here, right?
Right.
Yes. So we're here back at the Star Media Group, and
beautiful.
You know, ironically, a friend of mine works with you, right, Sharon?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
Classmates.
Yeah.
You can go straight there.
And
or
even
you can leave it here.
Really? Okay. And even somebody from the past, he was the Bangsa boy. He used to write for the Star. Nicky Cheong.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He went off to. He's just finished his PhD in England. He's coming back, and I'm gonna get him in the car as well.
If is anybody behind, you can turn around.
Oh, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk.
Where do I turn around? Anyways.
Here, can you?
Yeah, we can do that. But for now, let me just wrap it up. Oh shoot, there's a car right behind us. Where's your office? Where do I drop you off?
There.
Let me just go in there.
But you have to get in now.
That's okay.
All right.
No biggie. I want to wrap this up properly. Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure
Only. Right.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get him in the car as well, because he's got a good story. He used to write for you guys, and that's going back 15 years, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then he went up to do his masters and PhD and the whole 9 yards.
Excellent.
Yeah, so right here, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Perfect.
So, anyways, there we are.
Wow, such service.
Full-on concierge service, you know.
It could not have been better. I swear. This is just perfect. Timing is perfect. Just fantastic.
Well, we also need to get a photo for my Insta, so you're not getting off right away. But for now, yay! We made it.
Done.
Over and out.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.